Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel of Python programming for beginners. So today is part 8 of Python programming, and today we are going to cover the tuples. In our last lecture, part 7, we have covered list. So before that, you should cover those video also. So what are we going to learn today? We are going to learn tuples. So let us understand what is actually tuple is. So what is a tuple? A tuple is a order and immutable collection of elements in Python. So ordered means the tuple has fixed tuple has tuple is a collection of element which is actually ordered and immutable. That means it has fixed position and it cannot actually be changed. And it is used to store multiple values in single variable. Unlike list, the element of tuple cannot be modified after the tuple is created. And tuple can store elements of same data type or different data types, and differentiate difficult values are allowed. Duplicate values are allowed. Tuples are created using parentheses. However, tuple also recognizes a tuple. However, Python also recognizes a tuple when values are separated by comma. So, if you need to create a tuple, you need to either put this into parentheses such as bracket like a smaller bracket like a curly bracket, or you can actually you can also create tuple by even if you don't do that, you can also create tuple just by giving comma. So in Python you can also create it like this, such as for creating a tuple. You can also create like this, as you can see here. I have put here three collections such as apple, three elements in tuple, and here if I am going to write print, it is going to print. And if I want to actually write its type, then as you can see, it is going to print class tuple. So it is in tuple. So that is how it is. So that is how you create the tuple. Tuples can also be tuples can the collection of elements can also be at different data types, such as here, as you can see here, it is different data types such as Alice 20, which is an integer, and 89.5, which is a float, and true a boolean type. So a tuple can also be multiple data types. It so tuple with duplicate value, tuple can also store duplicate value, since it is a fixed so its element are actually immutable, so it cannot be changed. So tuple are actually here. Tuple actually allow multiple duplicates value. Elements can be duplicate. And tuple without parenthesis, you can also create tuple without parentheses, such as if you actually add collection by comma, then it is going to be considered as tuple. As you can see here, if I am going to write here type, and I'm going to run this code, then it is going to be class tuple. So tuple can also be work like this, you need to remember. And In real life example, you can, as you can see here, usually is such as here, it is actually cannot, since a person date of birth cannot be changed, so we can use it like this. So let us understand, the tuple is actually ordered. So that means, for every element is present in a fixed position. It cannot be either, it cannot change its position in tuple. And mutable, it is not mutable, it is immutable. So that means, it cannot be changed, and its order is fixed. And tuple also allow duplicate values such as 15, 15, and any other value. And tuple actually have indexes, indexed indexing, and store multiple data types created using this smaller bracket parenthesis. Why do we need even tuple? So if you look at, if you want to create a collection such as which cannot to be changed, or you don't want to change while executing code, so you can actually convert those into tuple. Are used to store a collection of value that should not be that should not change during the execution of program. Unlike list, tuples are immutable, which helps protect data from accidental modification. uh, Accidental modification. Tuples are also memory efficient and slightly faster than list. So tuple is actually more of a memory efficient. It uses less memory and is much more faster while performing. So it it is actually much faster and makes them a great choice for storing fixed data. Used a Use a tuple when the data is fixed and remain unchanged. So why do why are tuples important? First is protect data. It protects data since once it is created, it cannot be modified. Stored fixed information. If you want to store multiple fixed information, such as at one place, January or February, weekdays, weeks, coordinates, which is actually a fix. So if we, which does not actually require the changing, so you can those types of collection can actually be in tuple. And tuple actually improve compared to the list. And other, tuple is much more faster. Since tuple is immutable, Python can optimize them initially. As a result, tuples are generally faster and more memory efficient than list. This make them suitable for large collection of contents, constant data, and return multiple values from function. Tuple can also return, such as here, as you can see, a function can return multiple value using tuple. As you can see here, we have given the tuple value, and here we have added there. And such as here, as you can see, you can also in function, also do that, and use a dictionary key such as here you can see here in example dictionary keys, because they are immutable, and such as here a tuple are used as dictionary keys, since keys cannot actually change the so we can actually use the tuple for that. So for real life example, if you want to store student information such as student ID or student name, so you can use tuple for that. And you can also use tuple for that. So this is the characteristics of tuple. So if you want to here tuple.py, if I am going to create a number such as num equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5, is since tuple is at order, if you want to print num, it is going to print the value as it is here. As you can see, it is going to print it like in order. So you can also do it. And second is tuple are immutable, which means their element cannot be changed, add or remove after the tuple is created. So if you want to actually here, if I want to change the element such as num 0 or 2 equals 5, and if I want to print num, as you can see here, it will going to give an error in this line, since tuple does not support this assignment, so it does not actually support that. So second is third one is allow duplicate value. Tuple can also allow multiple duplicate value, such as here, as you can see 5 or 6. So if I want to here do that, so as you can see, it can also be allow 5 double 5 or 6. So tuple can also appear 2 times or 3 times when how much you want to. Tuple actually each element in tuple has indexed. So if you want to actually print here only, as you can see, if I want to print here as 0 tuple 0, num 0, so num 0 is 1, at 0th place is 1, and in second place second index it is 3. So tuple can also be tuple is indexed, and it support negative index also, just like list. Tuple also support negative indexing as -2. So -2 is going to be 5, and as you can see at -2 index it is going to be 5. So tuple actually also support indexing, and tuple can also support slicing, such as here if I want to print from 2 to 5, from 2 to 5 is 3 4 5, and you need to remember it is going to print a new tuple. As you can see here, it is printed the new tuple, and that's how you work for slicing. And tuple can also store multiple different data types, can contain nested tuple. Tuple can also contain another tuple within it, just like list. And Now tuple are more memory efficient than list, so these are the something you need to remember. So advantages faster, and these are all the same advantages can be used in dish. So if you want to convert the list versus tuple, such as what is the difference between them, then for syntax, the list tuple actually in inverted comma, and for list it is square bracket, and it is a smaller bracket, and for list it is square bracket. And for mute tuple it is immutable, and list is mutable. That means its elements can be changed, but for tuple it element cannot be changed. And both of them are actually ordered and allow duplicates value, and indexings are same for both. And they both support slicing. You can also do slicing with how the list are. And tuples also just like a list, tuple also allow multiple data types, but tuple uses less memory than list, and its performance is much slightly faster than list. And for built-in function, list has many built-in function, while tuple only allow two built-in function as count and index. And for dictionary key can be used if all elements are immutable. For dictionary uh, key tuples can be used if all the elements are immutable, but list cannot be used. And best used is for tuple is fixed data, and for list it is a frequent. Best uses is add frequent changes. For syntax, you have already seen both of them's name syntax, and for how the mutable and immutables are list and tuples, you have already seen that. And for memory uses, note while tuple actually allow multiple built-in function, list actually allow multiple built-in function built-in methods, but tuple only allow to count and index through the Python in the Python. A tuple can be used as dictionary key because it is immutable. We have already seen that. Why should use tuple data and so this is how you can create. So if you want to create a empty a tuple, so how you actually going to create, such as if you want to create empty tuple, uh, my t my tuple equals, if I want to create empty tuple here like this, and I'm going to print my tuple here type, here you can see it is going to give the value class tuple. You can actually create empty tuple by using this bracket only. You can also create like tuple, and here this will also going to create an empty tuple. You can use both of them, their value. Either you can use that, or you can use this, you can use this also for creating an empty tuple. So these are the method for creating an empty tuple. If you want to create a single value tuple, this is actually important. So if we want to actually create a single value tuple, such as here I'm going to give this as my tuple 1, so that we, for using multiple tuple, it is not. If I want to create my tuple 2 using only single such as 1, and if I want to print my tuple 2, and if I am going to print it like this, here as you can see type. So in here you can actually see it is going to give the value as integer. It is not going to do for single element, it is not going to give print as in the as tuple. Even if you here if you do it like for a string also, use collection of string also. So for single elements in tuple, you need to remember that for creating for only one element you need to give comma, then only it is going to consider a tuple. Since a single bracket cannot actually hold, it can be either integer or another thing, a string in a single bracket in bracket only. So you need to remember that while creating a single element tuple. This syntax is actually incorrect, so you need to remember tuple with multiple elements. We have already seen that, and tuple with mixed character data type, we have also seen that. And if we want to create tuple with nested element, you have already seen how to create a tuple with nested element. And if you want to create a tuple without parenthesis, you can also create it like this. And creating a tuple using tuple constructor, you can also create turn any elements or any other any other into tuple, such as any other data, another data series or data type into tuple, such as like this. If you, even if it is list, such as my tuple dot 3 equals tuple, even if whatever the whatever inside is a list or any other element, such as it is going to be and tuple only. We need to print this also. Print here we will turn this into 3, and here also 3. So as you can see, it is going to be converted into tuple. As you can see here in class, it is going to be tuple, and it is actually converted into tuple. What will happen if we are going to give here a string, such as here I have given a string only, then as you can see it is going to convert this into tuple also. Using, if you want to convert another things into tuple, then you can use the tuple constructor as tuple. Just like string, tuple constructor can also be used for range also, and for string and other things also. It can be either be used for nested loops and other things. Uh, so how to access elements in tuple, such as If I want to access element where I'm going to create accessing dot py. If I want to access element in tuple, then how can I actually access? Such as here I am going to create a tuple as my, or create using num equals 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 5. And if I want to access only three elements, so just like string, you can also print in tuple slicing or indexing, such as like this 0 or 1 here. Just like in string, you can also use that into tuple also. And here if you put minus a negative for negative indexing, it also works same as for string. If I am going to here you put that, then it is going to print the whole tuple. As you can see, just like string, it is also going to create a new tuple while printing for slicing. So you can do it like this. So just like here, if you can also for nested LE tuples, it is also same as the string, such as here. If I'm going to put comma tuple 6 comma 7 comma 8 comma 9, and if I'm going to run this, as you can see, it is going to print either same. And I can also print num, and for this value I can use 4 5 5, and here 3, and here not 3, it is going to be 2, and here it is I am going to print 0. So as you can see, it can also give the value like this for fifth. So fifth element of fifth index, as you can see, the fifth index is this, and for that, after that, it is at second index after. So for second index element, it is this element 8 comma 9 of tuple, and after that, for zero index, the first element of this is going to be 8. So that is how you can actually do it. You can access the nested element. So accessing multiple element we have already seen, and you cannot actually access the element outside its range, such as if I want to print 6, as you can see, it is going to give an error because the at sixth index is not actually in the tuple. So that is how you can do indexing. We have already seen the seen just now how to do the indexing, or so that is how it is. And for tuple, it is actually basically a same as the list, but you need to remember tuple cannot be actually changed, or it cannot actually change its position or elements in. So you need to remember that it's actually its slicing or many things is actually same as the list. As you can see here, for slicing, it is a same, as you can see here. While running this code, it is going to print 10 20 30 since from from colon in square bracket colon 3, it is going to be print first three elements, so it is going to print like this. Just like in list you can also omit an element from. If you are omitting the element from start, it is going to print, take the number from elements from initial. And if you are going to not going to omit the stop, then it is going to be at the end, at the last element. It is going until the last element. While copying the tuple, you can also copy the tuple like this, and just like in string. And you can also, such as for stepping the both, and for stepping, and you can also reverse. If we want to print the reverse of tuple, since tuple doesn't have built-in function as reverse, so you can tuple actually have built-in doesn't have built-in method of reverse, so you can use the like this. So it is going to be easy to access, such as if I want to print num here -1, then it is going to print the reverse order of the tuple. So you can also do it like this while for the reversing. And just like positive slicing, negative slice, you can also do the negative slicing in while you updating tuple. Unlike list, tuple are immutable, which means their elements cannot be changed, add, or removed after the tuple has been created. If you try to modify a tuple directly, Python raise a type error. Note: although Python cannot update directly, you need to know that the Python cannot actually update tuple directly, but you can also update by modify create a modified version of tuple, which will be covered in next section. So for next is tuple is immutable. You cannot modify it, you cannot add the element in it, and neither can you remove the element from tuple. In tuple, these are some operator, such as you can also use operators in tuple, such as for slicing or len built-in function, or in type, or this access element find length, or hmm, updating an element here, updating tuple indirectly. If you want to actually update the tuple, such as make changes in tuple, updating tuple, if you want to, first we are going to create update tuple tuple dot py, and after that, if you want to actually update any element in tuple, the first thing you need to do is that convert that into a list, and after that you can actually update the tuple. Such as if I am going to take num equals 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5, and I am going to convert this as uh, just like that, such as temporary equals list num list num, and if I'm going to print if I'm going to after that I can actually make changes in temporary. So if I want to actually make the changes in temporary as temp temp 0 equals 1 1, and if I'm going to put after that I can actually give it num equals temp here like this, and if I'm going to print num, it is going to print. As you can see here, you can actually change here I'm going to change this into 0, so you can actually change it like this in. As you can see here, the first element is actually changed from 1 to 0, so you can actually change the tuple, update the tuple by converting the tuple into list, and you can update it up. Either you want to add the tuple or remove from tuple, you need to do is convert those into list. So after that, how you want to convert into in list, or how to add element in list or remove from list, you have already seen that in previous parts. So for that after that uh, creating a new tuple using constructor, you can actually create a tuple, can also create a new tuple by joining tuples. You can also create a tuples by joining tuples, such as if you want to create here as num, and if I'm going to print num plus here 6 as 5 we have print, so will take 6 comma, then as you can see it is going to print here since tuple doesn't have any constructor as and since tuple doesn't have any constructor here like this, so first thing you need to do is here if you want to then num 1, here we can do it like this, num 1. As you can see here, it is going to be construct list, not tuple. Example, you can actually create a new tuple by joining tuples, such as here. As you can see, first thing I'm going to create here from new start. So mm, my tuple equals we will take here 1 0 10 20 comma 30, and after that we can also use my tuple equals to here my tuple plus 40 comma 50. After that, print my tuple. If I'm going to do that, then as you can see, we can actually do that also. So what actually we can do that also, as you can see here, we can actually add multiple tuples in it. So that is how you will do the joining. If you want to join two types of tuple, it is going to be create a new tuple. So for next topic is tuple packing and unpacking. So let us understand what is tuple packing is. Tuple packing is a process of storing multiple values together in single tuple. When you separate multiple values using commas, tuple automatically create Python automatically create a tuple. The process is called packing. The parentheses are optional while packing a tuple. The comma is which actually creates a tuple. So while for if you want to create a tuple, the things you need to remember is comma. Python automatically create a tuple by separating them in comma. If this is called packing, and if even if you don't use parenthesis, is actually optional. So you can do it like this. As you can see, the both the types are actually tuple. I have already told you, and just like that is how you can use packing. And tuple packing function returns actually packing function return value. So this is how you can actually give the return. Packing multiple values, you can also give multiple values in it and all of them in store in single values, so that value is going to be converted into tuple, just like here as you can see. So for real world uh, example, suppose you want to store a student information as student, its name is Rahul and roll number 101, or and it is a computer science student and its CGPA is 8.75, then all the information can actually be stored in it single in tuple. So since its information cannot be changed, so this is the advantages of tuple packaging. And then the next topic is tuple unpacking. So let us go with what the tuple unpacking is. The tuple unpacking is a process of assigning the elements of tuple to the individual variable instead of accessing each elements using indexes. Python automatically assign each element to corresponding variables. Note, variable must execute match the number of elements in tuple unless you are extending unpacking, which will be covered in next lecture. So this is the things you need to remember. The basic tuple unpacking is, as you can see here, you can actually unpack the for multiple elements. The every element you can give to a single variable. You can actually do it like this, but you need to remember its syntax is such as we have created a tuple as student equals to for its name we have taken ls comma 20 comma csc. So here if you are going to put name comma age comma course, it is equals student. Then for the name it is going to be Alice, and for age it is going to be 20, and for CSC it is going a course, it is going to be CSC. But you need to remember while assigning its index, if indexing its order, such as if you actually switch it from age to course, it is going to be converted as course equals 20 and age equals to CSC. So you need to remember those things also. So that is how you can unpack the tuple. Just like that, you can also unpack the different data types also using unpack variable, and you can also swap value tuple unpack makes swapping variables simple. You can also swap values in swap variables in Python using tuple such as a equals 10 and b equals 20. Then if you want to swap the swap here, so you can you use it like a comma b equals b comma c. Then the if you are going to check here, just like if you want to print a comma b, then as you can see it is going to give the output as 20 comma 10. And just like that, you can also do it here. And here if you are this for here, you need to remember mistake you actually make. If you are going to create a tuple as student equals Alice 20 and CSA, then you need to remember to write the whole variable name, such as you cannot do that name comma age equals student. So you such as you are not going to give the course, so that for last element it is going to be not going to be any variable, so it is going to give an error value to unpack, too many values for unpacking. And if you add extra variable, so it not sufficient, not in, it is going to a value error as not enough value to unpack. So you need to think that. And suppose function returns student detail def suppose function return a student detail def student here return Rahul 101 and 8.1. Then you can do it like name, roll number and CGPA, and you can also print it like this. The advantages of tuple unpacking is makes code cleaner and more readable, and eliminates the need of indexing, and makes variable swap simple and reduce the number of assignment statement. uh, for summary table, here you can look its purpose, number of variables, how it is it, and extended unpacking. Sometimes you may not know the exact number of values in tuple, or you may want to collect multiple elements in single variable. So for that you can use in Python provides extended unpacking using asterisk operator. The asterisk operator collects the remaining elements into a list. The only one variable can be preferred with asterisk in a single unpack statement, such as first, middle. For middle one it is asterisk, and for last. So if you want to collect middle elements, or if you are going to, such as here, if I'm going to create here extended unpacking. Here, as you can see, here is the extended unpacking. So for that, uh, if I'm going to create a number, here I'm going to dot py. If I'm going to create a tuple as num equals for tuple 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 7 comma 8, and if I want to do that, the f comma asterisk m comma l as last, middle, and first, the equals num. And if I want to print first, print middle, print last, as you can see, you can also do it like this. So whatever the remaining elements of middle is going to be in middle variable, and as you can see, it is going to be a list. It is not going to be a tuple as new tuple. It is going to be converted into list. So you need to and middle, all the remaining elements is going to be in middle, and it is going to be in list. If you want to collect the remaining elements, collecting the remaining elements, such as if you want to take only first element as here, such as I am going to give only first equal first comma asterisk remaining, and here I'm going to give value as num. And if I'm going to print first, after that remaining, if I'm going to print first and remaining, as you can see, it is going to take, for first it is going to be only one value, and for the remaining part it is going to be in remaining. So you need to remember, you can also do it like that, but just like in here, this is also going to be in string, in list. So you need to do the thing, you need to do it like this. And if you are going to do it like asterisk remaining comma last equal num, and after that print last, as you can see here, it is going to take the first how many elements are going to be, and not going to take the last one. So that is how you can use the extended unpacking. You can it is going to create, if you are going to do that like this, such as if I going to be first and comma, if you are going to be asterisk underscore and comma last and equals num, then as you can see, the whatever the element is going to be in middle, it is going to be in asterisk. So if you want to ignore some value, you can do it like this. If you can also print first, last. You can also do it like this. As you can see, whatever the elements is going to be in middle, it is not going to be execute. So that is how you can do it. The variable underscore is commonly used to indicate values that are intentionally ignored. So extended unpack with function, you can do it like this. Here, as you can see here. So these are some rules for extending unpacking. Only one variable can be used. The asterisk operator. You cannot use multiple operators. Such as here, you can see it is given the syntax error, and the stand variable always stores a start 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 variable also always store a list, uh, and a strict variable can appear at beginning, middle, or end of the assignment. Mm, so for loops in through tuples, so just like loops in list, the loops in tuple also work same, such as loops.py. First, we are going to see the for loop, such as we are going to create num equals 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, 5, comma 6. Here for I in num print I. So just like here in list, you can also print it here the same way. In list, you can also do it like this using end, comma, and print. Here you can also do it like this. As you can see, you can also do it like this, and after that, just like that, and for the while, these are some example for the for loop. And through if you want to create the sum of all the elements present in the tuple, then you can also do it like this, such as you can create sum equals to 0, and if we are going to print instead of printing sum plus equals I, and print sum, if we are going to do it, it is going to print the sum of all the element which is present in it. You can use so that is how you can use the for loop use for the sum. And you can also print the square of all the number, such as in next example. As you can see, if you want to print the square of the numbers, you can do it just like loops. So these are the some examples. mm, 50 here uh, give me a second here. I'm good. Hmm. Hmm. Here you can actually see it. Here, if I'm going to run this code, you can actually see the loops through number. So here you can see it like this. These are the some example you can actually try. And if you want to, so just like here in list, you can also use range function in tuple also, just like the same in same. The both of them are same. For reverse order, you can do it like this. For I in range num -1 comma -1 -1, then it is going to print from length -1 4 comma 2 comma is going to print from 4 to -1 as. So here if you actually want to, so if you actually want to print the tuple in reverse order, then how can you actually print it? So you can actually do it like for I in a range. For first that we are going to create here a range dot py. No need to create that. We are going to here do it here also. For that we range so for if you actually want to print the list a tuple in reverse order using for loop, so you can do it like for I in a in range range tuple uh, for I in range tuple not tuple len num -1 comma -1 comma -1, and it is going to print from num I. So what this actually going to so let us understand how this actually syntax actually work. So for len number, it is going to take the count the how much the length of how many elements in the in the tuples are and is going to do the -1. So if the number of element in the tuple is 6 or 7, it is going to be from 6 to, it is going to start from index 6 to -1, 6 to -1. So for 6, it is going to start from sixth. So since the sixth is actually uh, first element and it is going to end at -1, so it will actually going to end at the or the end, since the end is at -1 and it is going to be at minus minus. So that is how it is actually work, uh, as you can see here. So that's how it is actually works. You can do the reverse order. So this is all you can do. So for tuple, tuple and list is actually basically a same, but only difference one is actually mutable and second one is not mutable, immutable. So just like that, you can also look into here for practice questions and for practices. uh, such as composition for loop method. So the next part is for tuple operators. So just like loops, tuple operators also have constructor operator and repetition as using asterisk and membership operator as in and not in. You can also look into here. We will see using first is as operations, in tuple. So operation dot py, first is concatenation. So concatenation, conca- concatenation. So for if you want to actually print, you take here t1 equals, for first tuple we are going to take 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5, and for t2 it is going to be 6 comma 7 comma 8 comma 9. And if you want to print t1 plus t2, so this is going to be print the whole tuple. And you need to remember in construction, in concatenation, just like in list, it is going to be in tuple, it is also going to be uh, create a new tuple. As you can see here, it is going to be create a new tuple. So this is how the concatenation works. It actually joins two different tuples rather it can be either the collection of, you can also concatenate multiple tuple in single list, in single tuple, and create a single tuple. So that is how, and you can also add empty tuple inside the tuple. If you are going to add an empty tuple inside a tuple through a tuple, then it is going to at the result it is not going to be added since it doesn't its concatenation is going to add its element, and if the element is not going to be in second, it is not going to add. So that is how the concatenation is done. The second is repetition. So for repetition, it is going to be here repetition, and for repetition it is going to be, as you can see, we will take t1. We have taken t1. If you want to print t1 into 3, it is going to print the t1 three times here, just like here you can see it is going to take here the elements three times, such as 1 to 5, comma 1 to 5 and 1 to 5. So this is how is going to be for repetition. And what will happen if you are going to do t1 into t2, then as you can see it is going to give the error, since it is not an integer. And you can also you cannot do that in here also, since float is actually also not allowed. You only need to add the string, the integer value. For repetition you need to remember to add the it can be only for use. The original tuple is in operation. You need to remember in both concatenation and repetition, the original tuple cannot be modified. It is going to create a new tuple. So if you can also repeat that into multiple times if you want to repeat how many times you want to repeat. And third is membership operator. So membership operator is going to give the value as true and false. What this is, it is going to check if the element is actually present in it, such as print 5 in t1. So if the element is going to be present, it is going to give the true, and if not, it is going to give the false. You have already seen what the membership operator is, just in and not in. That is how this was membership operators was. uh, for comparison operator, just like this, Python also allow these types of comparison operators, such as equals to or not equals to, less than, greater than, or less than or greater than equal to, less than or equal to, less than or equal to, or greater than equal to. For example, for first, equals to, if the both the all of the elements of both the tuple is the same, then it is going to give true. Either it will going to give false. Not equals to, it will check if all the element is actually same or not. If it is all the element is at same, it is going to give the value as false. And if not, it is going to give the true value as true. Here, as you can see, a equals to 10, 20 and 30, and b equals to 10, 25, 30. Since a is not equals to b, it is true, since 20 and 25 are different. And less than, and for third example, it is a less than. And let us see how the less than work is. So less than is going to check the first element, which is actually a less than or greater than. As you can see, since a equals 10, 20 and 30, and b equals to 10, 25 and 30, then if you are going to print a is less than b, then it is going to be print true. Since if the is in 10 or 10 both are same, it is going to be 20 and 25. So both of them a result are turn out to be true. And you also need to remember this in operators such as here I'm going to write operations. So if such as I have created here my tuple equals to value as 1 comma 2 comma 5, and I am going to create another tuple as my tuple equals 1 comma 3 comma 4, and if I'm going to print 1 comma print my tuple 1 is less than my tuple 2, then let us see it is going to give the value as true. So why it is actually given the value as true? As you can see, it is only going to check the first element which is not equal. As you can see, the first element, both of the first element is 1, and for next element it is at 2. For tuple 1 it is 2, and for tuple 3 it is 3. Since 2 is less than 3, it is going to keep the value as true. It doesn't matter what is after that, since in tuple 1 it is 5, and in tuple 4 tuple 2 it is 4. Since 5 is not less than 4, it doesn't actually matter what is going to be after that, since that is how the tuple was. So you need to remember that for comparison is always going to be checked. For less than and greater than is always going to be checked the first element, and for equals to and greater than equals to it is going to check just like that. It is going to check it is going to check until the condition, it is going to see the condition. As you can see here, in here both of the example, here a equals to 10 comma 20, and how the comparison operator works. So comparison operator works as if the both the elements are equals to, it is going to be true, and if 10 is equals to 10 is less than equals to 12 is true, then remaining element not compared. You need to remember how the comparison elements work, and this is how it is a summary. You need to remember and remember those things. And for the next topic, it is going to be built-in function in tuple. So let us understand, there are some built-in function in tuple, uh, just like list, such as len, min, and max, sum, sorted, and any. And these are the some elements. If I'm going to create as built-in dot py, so this is for built-in, some built-in function. As you can see here, if I want to print the length of this tuple, then I can use the len function. The len function is going to print the length of the tuple, and what the min function is going to do here, as you can see, just like the length function is going to print the length of the tuple. You can do it as you can see here in examples. Length function also, even if the values are duplicate, it is still going to count every single element, and it is going to consider for nested tuple, it is going to be considered as a single element. Even if it is a tuple, it is not going to count every single element of a nested element. You need to remember that. Here as you can see it here like this. Hmm. For real world example, as you can see, you can actually count how many are in tuple, and this is how the len function works. And for min function return the smallest element which is actually present in the tuple. As you can see, I'm going to print here numbers also, since this is the initial tuple. And as you can see, its length is as 4, and the minimum is the smallest element which is actually present in it uh, is actually 8. And for maximum for so that is how the min function actually works. And if you want to print the min in tuple in string, then what it is going to be do, it is going to select the minimum is such a small a, it is started with an a from a, or it is going to be sorted in indexing in alphabetical, such as if it is starting with a, then first is going to be that, and it is going to be in alphabets. And for negative number, the min number is going to be for -20, since -20 is actually the smallest, it is going to be considered a number line. And for single element min, if you use the single element tuple min in single element tuple, it is going to print that element only. So that is how you can do that. Use the min is actually used to find the return the smallest element which is present in the list. And for the largest element in tuple, if you want to find the largest element in tuple, you can use the max here just like as you can see here, and you can do it like this here. Hmm. Mm, Here you can see it like this. If you want what the main function is going to do, if you are going to run this code, it is going to max function max is going to do, it is going to print the maximum element which is present in the list in the tuple. And if you are going to do the for string values such as mango, apple, and orange, then whatever is going to be it is going to be for maximum value, whatever the first element is going to be by alphabetical order, such as here the first come a, A, B, C, D, it is going to be ordered like this up to the Z. So Z is going to be maximum. So since first A comes A, after that M, and after that O, then it is going to print the orange. So that is how the logic works in Python for string value. So just like that, you can also do it here for this. So that's how you can do it. And so for next built-in function is sum. So sum actually returns the sum of all the numeric elements in tuple. You need to remember the sum function actually uses for numeric element. It is not for uses for list in string. And if you want to print the sum of number, as you can see here, we have taken a tuple as number 10, 20, 30, 40. And if you want to print the sum of all the numbers, then you can use print sum numbers, and it is going to give output as 10 since all of the sum is 10. You can also do the same for decimal number. So it is going to print the decimal. A 10 is such as we have taken the values equals to 20, 30, 40. It is going to print 10. After that, negative numbering such as 10, -1 and 20, it is going to sum of all. So 10 is plus minus 5, it is going to be 5, and plus 20, it is going to be print 25. If you are going to do the sum of number and number is an empty tuple, such as if you are going to print the sum of empty tuple, then it is going to be 0. You need to remember. So that is how work. And for sorted, so next function is sorted. So sorted function returns a new sorted list containing the element of tuple. And sorted tuple such as if you are going to it is if you are going to uh, take the tuple as num equals 40, 10, 30, 20. As you can see here in print, it is going to print the sorted. But you need to remember, while the whatever it is going to be print, it is going to be in list. It is not going to be in tuple. And it is going to create new list. It is whatever, if you are going to sort the whatever is going to be, it is going to sort into new list. And you can, if you want to use that, you can actually convert that into tuple. So that is how sorted work. So just like here, you can also use the descend, just like ascending, you can also use the descending as sorted nums comma number equals to number comma receive equals true. Then it is going to print in reverse. And what will happen if you actually going to sort the for string, then if you going to sort the strings such as fruits equal mango, apple, orange, then it is going to be sort in alphabetical order as apple, mango, mango and orange. And so that's how the sort works. And for any, so it is going to any function is returns true if at least one element in the tuple is true, then it is going to print any. As you can see, if the all the element is what the any is actually a value. If either one is actually true, then it is going to give the true. Here you can see here the value as value equals to 0, false, and 5. If you are going to print 5 equals 5, print any values, then as you can see here, it is given as true. You can actually see here since it is not given any true in here, but it is still given true. So why is that? So you first you need to remember is whatever the empty value is going to be, it is going to be false, such as zero or empty string, empty tuple, or empty set dictionary. And whatever the empty value is going to be, such as zero, so it is going to be false. And whatever the it is going to be, is such as values or any other, it is going to be true. So here it is going to check whether the each element is false or true. So 0 is actually false, since 0 is considered false in Python. And for false it is going to be obviously false. And for 5, since it is not 0 or empty or null, then it is going to be true. So 5 is actually true. So since one of the element is true, then it is going to print true. And here you can see in next example, values equals 0, false, and empty string. Since 0 is actually considered false, and false is also false, and for empty string it is also empty value, so it will going to print it will going to give the value as false, since all the elements is false. And if you are going to give the for empty element, empty true tuple, such as value equals to only it is empty, then it is going to be value as false, since it is it is empty. So for whatever the empty is going to be, it is going to be considered as false. You need to remember that in Python. Hmm. For so that is how the any function works. And for all function returns true if any elements in the tuple evaluates the true. If at least one element is false, it returns false. So what the all function is going to be, it is going to check whether the all the elements are true or not. Such as if either the value is zero or false value, then it is going to be print false. Such as here you can see here in example 1, we have taken a values equals minus 1 2 3, and for that it is going to be it is going to be 1 2 3, then it is going to be, since one is also truly value, since neither one is a falsy value, so it is going to be true, then it is going to print the true. What is going to happen if it is 1 1 0 3, it is, as you can see, it is going to print false. And for empty value it is going to be print true, since there is no false element in it, so it is going to print true. So it actually does not check whether the all the elements is false, it is actually check whether the element which is present in it is actually true, false or not. If either the one is false, then it is going to give the value as false. If not a single element is true, a single element is false, then it is going to give the element as true. So that's how the all function works. It returns true only when the every element is truly, and returns false if any element is falsely. So that is how this works. Next is tuple methods. So in tuple, unlike list, tuple doesn't have too many built-in methods. So it only have two methods. First is count and second is index. So what the count is going to be, it is going to count whatever the elements is going to be inside the list, such as if I am going to here like I am going to method third dot py. If I am going to create num equals 2 comma 3 comma 1 comma 4 3 4 0 and 0, if I want to print num dot count whatever I want to count, such as 0, then it is going to count how many times it is actually present. As you can see, 2 is actually present here 2 times. So what the count function is do, it is going to count how many times the element is present in the list. And second one is index. So what this is going to be, it is going to print index of first element, such as if I want to print index of 0, so it is going to print the index of first element, such as here the index of this is actually 2, since it is at the second index. So first index of first time, so it is where it is for first value, it is, then it is going to do print that index. Note, tuple is not present in elements. If the elements is not present in the tuple, it is going to give the 0. You need to remember that. And it is going to count an integer. It is going to work for both integer and string. If the elements is not present, it is going to 0. And you can also count true, false and tuple. And you can also count mixed data types. It can also be used for mixed data type of tuple. And so that is how it is. So for index, the index method is used for finding the position index of first occurrence of specific element in tuple. Note, if the element is not found, Python is going to raise value error. It is not going to print any value, it is going to raise a value error. So for that, in the starting syntax, use the start and end position, such as you can index starting returns such as from mango. If you want to find the mango, you can actually uh, it is going to print 2, since it is a present as second index. So if you are going to take a look here for index 20, since 20 is present at for index 1 and index 3 third both, but it is going to print only 1, since it only going to take the first occurrence in all. Using start parameter, use the start parameter. Using what the start parameter is going to be, it is going to find wherever the index of second occurrence is, such as it is going to find, it is going to skip the first one, and it is going to do directly to the second one, such as here you can see for number 0 to 20. Here you can see for number 0, and if I am going to take here as comma 2, it is going to find the where the second 0 is present, such as here is actually present What the start using start parameter search start from index 2, so the second occurrence of 20 is found. So so it is going to be second occurrence of 20 is found. So whatever the second occurrence of 20 is going to be, it is going to be found. Here, as you can see, it is going to be work like this. You can use start and end. Using start and end also. If the element is not found, it is going to give an error. Avoid the errors. So this is the thing you need to remember. And for copying the so for next topic is copying the tuple. So let us see how you actually can copy a tuple. Since tuples are immutable, copying them is much simpler than copying list. You can now change the elements of tuple after creating, so copying mainly creates another reference or another tuple object with the same element. So you can use two methods such as using using the tuple constructor or the assignment operator, such as for basic assignment you can use assignment operator such as num equals to 10, 20, 30 and copy numbers equals to numbers. You can the both with all the elements is all this tuple is going to be copied into second variable. For verify both values, if you are going to verify both value as first equal fruits equal copy fruits, then it is going to be print true since both the elements are copy. All the elements are same. Check object identity. For id, for object id, the both of them are actually present, have the same memory address, indicate they refers to the same tuple object. Since both of them have same memory address, so they all refers to the same tuple object, and original tuple remain unchanged. The original tuple remain unchanged. Hmm. Even if you copy that, the original tuple is going to be remain unchanged. So this is how you can copy tuple without using equals to an assignment operator. And while using copying using tuple constructor, you can also be create a copy of existing, such as if you are going to new tuple equals to tuple original tuples, then it is going to be print. It is also going to create new tuple, and here it is going to create a copy of the new tuple. You can also check using object identity. The both the object same going to be at same address. Second is joining tuples. We have already seen that you can join the tuple using concatenate it, using concatenate. How you join tuples of string, multiple data type or different data types, or joining the empty tuple. We have already seen that in constructor concatenation. And joining tuple using asterisk, we have also seen that. For a plus operator, it joins different tuple, and but for asterisk operator repeats the same tuple multiple times. And for plus operator combines element once, and for asterisk operator repeats element multiple times. And for plus operator required 10 two or more tuples, but for asterisk operator requires only one tuple and an integer. And for plus operator creates a new list, and using asterisk operator it also create a new list. So that is how it is. So just like uh, yeah, so it's a for nested tuple, we have already seen that. So how to access nested or tuple? Just like a nested list, you can also access the nested tuple, and we have already seen that also. Third is why the tuple is memory efficient. The tuple uses one of the major advantages of tuple is that there is no it is more memory efficient than list, and since the tuple are immutable, their elements cannot be changed after creation. Python stored them more compact way. These allow tuples to consume less memory and uh, often makes them slightly faster than list. Note, if your data it does not have to change, use the tuple. Using a tuple is usually a better choice than using a list. Why do you? So that is how it is. The memory. So next is tuple performance. Tuple performance is actually slightly faster than list since it is immutable. Python can optimize the storage and access more efficiently. Uh, if you want to, if the performance differ in using small, but it become more noticeable when working with large amount of data or performance crucial application. Why why tuples are slightly faster? They are immutable, and their fixed size allow Python to optimize memory allocation. They have less internal overhead than list, and Python can access tuple element more efficiently. So this is why they are faster. You can actually see the performance using this. Mm, Here you can here as you can see, if you are going to import if you are going to look into both the list, as you can see, tuple actually consume less time than here in example you have seen how much computation time it is going to be take for list and tuple. As you can see, the list actually consume more time than tuple, and here if you are going to be its speed, here also the tuple actually for tuple is much tuple is more efficiently do that in compared to from range 0 to 1000, it is going to be more efficient than normally. And if you are going to create a list versus tuple, it is while creating, as you can see, the tuple actually takes less time. So that is although it might be in 0.1 or 0.8, 0.01, 0.02, 0.02, but for something like here, for something like for bigger, then for that you need to be remember, you need to know, for something like bigger projects it cannot be done, so you need to remember to do that. It might give the problem. So for fixed data type, you can do what you can do, you can use a tuple instead of list. And you can also, here you can see a tuple list. Here we have taken the 5 element as 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, both in tuple and list. As you can see, here we have used the SYS. We have imported SYS. SYS is a built-in to is a library, so that it will, what it is going to do, it is going to print how much memory it consume. As you can see, the list actually consume 104 bits, but tuple only consume 188 bits. It usually for list, tuple for list actually, for tuple actually consume more than 23 to 20, mean at least 15 percentage. As you can see, 13-14% less memory than average list. So this is, so that is how it is do that. It consume less memory. And in here also, as you can see here, also from list of 1 to 100, as you can see, the list is 185 bits, and but the the tuple is actually 888,048 bits, and list is actually 8,056 bits. They are off by 8 to 8 bits or any other much bits. As you can see, this is how it is work. So that is how the tuple works. You need to remember. Here you can also see it. Here is another examples. So this is also the reason why tuples are much faster in use. So tuple in function returns, tuple can also be used a function return tuple. Python function can be return multiple values at same time. Although it's appear the multiple value are being returned, Python actually packed all that return value into a tuple, and the feature makes functions simpler, cleaner, and easy to use. Returning multiple values is one of the most common use of tuples in Python. And returning multiple values, a function can return more than one value than separating. By separating the value with comma, Python automatically pack this value into tuple. So it is going to be written as tuple, as you can see. Here is the example. You can actually use the built-in function like type, so that it is, you can see its class is tuple. So for multiple assignment, instead of storing the return value in a single variable, you can directly assign each assignment value to the separate variable. The process is called multiple assignment or tuple unpacking. We have already done the tuple unpacking, and such as here. mm, Next is tuple versus list. We have already seen that. Second is real world application. Tuples is used for coordinates since it is a fixed RGB coloring, and database records and multiple database records are actually been recorded in tuples, and GPS location and values returning multiple value configuring systems such as in database. So this is where the tuple is the more real world uses for tuple is mathematic coordinates, RGB coloring, GPS location, student record, and storing records, and function return screen resolution, and database configuration, date, time. So here the tuple is actually used. Why use the tuple in this application? It is immutable, memory efficient, much more faster, and ordered, supports multiple data types. Uh, i- i- Ideal for fixed data, and so these are the common errors we usually make. Forgetting the comma in single element tuple. Usually it is not going to be created in tuple. Trying to modify the tuple element which is does not allow. Using append and remove methods of list in tuple is going to give it is going to give an error in confusing lists. Square bracket in tuples, c bracket. So you the best practice, you can use tuple and fix read only data type. So next is, let us do some questions. Mhm. So for our first question, create a tuple containing 5 integers and print it. We are going to create question 1 dot py, create a tuple as my, or we are going to create num equals 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5, and you can print it like this: print tuple, not tuple, print num, and it is going to print here as you can see, it is going to print the tuple. If you want to print here every single element, you can use for loops, and you can use loops, or here like this, it is going to print every single element. So you can also do it like this. Also this, if you want to print for every single element or any other. So this is how this was our first question. Let us go with our second question. So our second question is create a single element tuple and print its create a single element tuple and print its type. As you can see, for if you want to create a tuple such as my tuple, we are going to create the two tuples such as my tuple equals to single element tuple. So we are going to take here as 10, and we will also going to create another tuple as my tuple 2 is going to be here like this, comma 1 with comma, and as you can see, if we are going to print type my tuple 1, and for second one it is tuple 2, then as you can see it is going to print first one as integer and second one as tuple. Since tuple for single element tuple it is need to be uh, it is need to put comma. You can also create single element tuple by using like this, my tuple 3 equals by using constructor operator such as tuple 10, then it is, as you can see here, it is also gone. Since int is not irritable, here you cannot actually use the tuple since you can, but you need to remember the constructor operator only going to work for irritables. As you can see here, it is only for irritable. You need to remember it can be only for string, list, or any other tuples, any other irritable types. And let us go with our third question. For our third question, write a program to access and print the third element of tuple. And for question third dot py, if we want to write a program to access and print the third element of tuple, so we are going to print here num equals, first we are going to create a tuple 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5, and if you want to print the third element of tuple, then we can use num 3 for in third element it is going to be index of 2, then it, as you can see, it is not going to be here like this, it is here like this. You need to put that into square bracket. As you can see, the third element is a 3, so it is going to print it like this. You can print by indexing or slicing. You print it using indexing and slicing. Write a python to find the length of tuple using len. So for our question 4.py, uh, if we are going to create num equals to, then print len num, then it is going to be it is going to print 5. As you can see, it is going to print 5, and here it is going to print 5. So you can do it like this. So let us continue with our fifth question. Write a program to count how many times an element appear in tuple. So element appear in tuple. Write a program. We can do that using count and using count built-in function, such as here whatever is going to be, it is going to count, such as if I want to count how many times the 2 is actually appear in, then it is appear in 2 times. As you can see, it is going to take 2 one time. 2 is actually appear here one time. So let us go with our, so that's how you will do. So let us go with our next question. uh, Write a Python program to find the index of given element in tuple. So we are going to first create question 6.6.py num equals 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5, and after that we are going to print in num dot index, and for that it is going to be num1. If I want to find the index of 3, as you can see, it is going to print the index of 3 as 2. So that is how you can do the um, so let us go with our next element, such as write a program to join the two tuples using plus operator. Question 7.py. Write a program to join two operator using plus operator. Such we will take t1 equals to 1 2 3, and for t2 equals to 4 5 6. After that, result equals to t1 plus t2, print our result. So you can print it like this. As you can see, you can actually add both of them, join both of them using like this. So let us go with our next element. Write a program to unpack tuple using separate variable into separate variable and print each variable. We are going to take here question 8.py, and we will first going to take the tuple as num equals to tuple first, second, third, and we will take here a comma b comma c equals num And if we are going to print A, B, C, it is going to be, as you can see, you can do it like this. So let us go with our next question. So for next question, write a function that return the sum and product of two numbers using a tuple. Write a product of two number using tuple. You write a function that returns. So we are going to create question 9.py, and we are going to paste here, write a function that returns a sum and product of two numbers using tuple. So we are going to create def a function as calculate calculate a comma b where and re- return. For first it is product sum, so a plus b, so comma, second is product, so a into b, you can do it. You need to return, so for we are going to return sum comma sum. I'm not going to add comma multiply multiply equals calcu calculate 10 comma 20. As you can see, if you are going to print add print multiply, as you can see, it is going to print to 30, and so that is how you can write a function that returns a sum and product. So that is how you can return the sum of two numbers using tuple. And for our last question of today, we are going to take write a program to create nested tuple of students record and display each student name and marks. Right. Hmm. So for that we are going to create question 10.py, and after that we are going to here write a program to create nested for. First we are going to create name info equals to here. So for first one we are going to write ALICEL is comma for display the student record, so first name, age, comma, batch, department C, or whatever the department is going to be, CSC, So for next name we will take Sam, comma 19, comma department mechanical. Mechanical, we will take mechanical, and for next we will take Ram, and we will have we will take his age 21, comma for his uh, subject we will take Python. He is specialized in CSC, CSC, and if we want to print for I in info, then print name, print first we are going to print its name, for name it is going to be printed as comma, and for name it is going to print I info, since it's an info, so I0, I1, I2, age, and then department. So this is how you can print that as here you need to remember to add comma here. As you can see, it is going to print for first name Alice, age 20, and department CSA. After that, name Sam, age 19, and department mechanical. This is how you can print it. You can actually print it. So you need to remember that. After that, you can also use print here, so it will going to create a gap between everything. So you can do it like this for nested. So these are we have done the some question. These are some question which you need to do. So that is all for this lecture. So I hope you have understand everything, and so in this lecture we have covered the tuple. So in next lecture we are going to do what is going to be what others how sets are. So see you in next lecture.